And I'm going to ink this copper plate that I've already etched. A lot of times you just make a plate and then you print it in black ink, but I'm going to be adding some color. I was starting to do printmaking in Iowa, and I was also doing life drawing with this teacher. So I had a little show at the university, and he walked around and looked at it and he said, well, I can't tell if you want to be an artist or just want to live on a farm because a lot of my images were of rural houses and woodlots and trees and places out in the country. And when I was a kid, I was drawing all the time, constantly drawing. But what I drew when I was a kid was animals. And then it kind of expanded to the farms. I guess it is things I love. Around here, the flatness of the land I started to get a feel for that being so flat, and the way the farms and the tree lines sit on the horizon. Especially in the winter, you get this white page, and then you've got this little line of text that says somebody lives here, you know, here. And then somebody lives here. So I started trying to figure out how to make them into lines of text, sort of, in my mind. And so you'll see some of those images where there's lines of farms, like words on a page. I built these blocks, kind of like letterpress letters or words, or, you know, I was thinking about the lines of the farms because I was being inspired by letterpress, I guess. So I'm just going to try this and see if it works. Yeah, not too bad. Could be a little darker.
These farmsteads tell a story about the people that came here and built those buildings and planted those trees and started doing farming. And so the images kind of become the story.
So this is a really old process that goes back for hundreds of years. Intaglio is really line-based. You draw your basic drawing, and then all the fine lines and all the detail that would take you. The one over here that I'll show you of the O'Neill farm took me over 40 hours to draw the line work. My original lines that I make are the best. The first time I draw the line is the best, rather than making a sketch and transferring it to the plate and drawing it again. It's always best if it's the first time. People think of a print as a reproduction of a painting or something with the artist signing it or whatever, but real prints each print is handled directly from the plate by the artist. Sometimes what people think is that once you get it ready, you just print a bunch, but that's not the way it works. You have to print each one the same way, which takes a while. So I'm going to roll these. I'm going to roll them like this, back and forth until they start making a smooth line. And they start to blend with each other, and they start to blend with the colors on the plate, but that's what's magic about it. I'm going to roll the pink and the red onto the plate. So let's see, I have to have room for that, do I? Yeah. And then I'm going to wipe it a little bit, and then I'm going to roll the blue on it. So let's see. Yellow is there. I want that about like that. So I need to move that. Yeah. So I just roll that once. There's a process that you go through the steps, and then when you're ready to do it, it's like magic every time. When you pull it off the press and you look at it and you go, that's the one. And then you try to remember what the order that you did to make that happen was. You know, I just like doing it. I like making the lines. I mean, when I was a kid, why did I want to draw? You know, I wanted to draw the lines. I wanted to make those things. And letting the lines do what they want to do, because they'll do something different if I let them. And then if you sit and draw for a while, you get into this place where you don't even know where you are. And you can't really see what you did. And you put it in the acid, you clean it off, you ink it, and you print it, and like, wow!
These farmsteads, they are the place where people came, the places that people made. And with every one of them, there are stories. There are stories of fortunes to be made. There are stories of misfortune. But I think what Jean has showed us is that these stories are etched into the landscape.
This program is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008. And by the members of Prairie Public.